Welcome to JD Fantasy Football. This is David Lamson. I'm joined as usual by Jordan Cordova. And if you need a leg up in your fantasy league this year, you've come to the right place. Jordan, are we ready for fantasy football to start this week or what?
Oh, buddy, I cannot wait. What a banger of a game. Cowboys versus Eagles. Started off on Thursday. Let's start the heartbreak for Arch Manning. So, hey, but along the way, I was able to pick me up a little share of George Pickens. So let's go Cowboys. Gives me a reason to cheer for him this year.
Okay.
So.
There's a few people a little concerned about this game on Thursday from a football. Little concerned that the Cowboys aren't quite ready to beat the Eagles this week, but we'll see, right?
Hey, we traded you guys a spinal injured player for.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Micah Parsons, right?
What are you talking about?
You don't know about this?
What do you mean?
Like we traded you Micah Parsons.
For what?
I think we got a Pro Bowl defensive back and two
I think
first
you got
rounds.
a sack of garbage.
Okay,
Hey, that's
he's
what
a
you
Pro
guys
Bowl.
got.
He's a Pro Bowler.
You got a sack of garbage.
And you guys got a spine injured player. Okay,
We got the best player in the NFL who just needs a little love, a little attention.
He needs an epidural injection before he starts the game
There's
to
no
even
Matthew
get on the
Stafford
field.
situation here. No Matthew Stafford.
All right, like he's got to get injections to get on the field. If anything,
Listen,
we did a good job with that. No, I'm not going to sit here and claim that getting rid of Micah Parsons was the right move by any means, but in some sort of mindset, right? Next year, if he's signed or the start next year, him, CD, and Dak. Do I approve of the money that Dak got? No, but he is getting what he's getting. And that'd have been made up of 50% of our cap space with just those three players if we would have signed them to the deal
that is crazy.
And we were willing this is just word from mouth. I wasn't there, so I can't tell you exactly what happened. But I mean, if Jerry Jones is right, he did offer him to be the highest paid player outside of a quarterback position in the league. So, I mean, we tried for it, but maybe at some point he was wanted more money, and we were like,
Well, it just wasn't Dallas's year. They lost Luka Doncic, and now they've lost Micah Parsons.
But hey, they got who did they get after that? They got the boy wonder from Duke, and now they're not looking too shabby over there in Dallas. So
they're looking okay.
We tank this year. Let's go first pick. We'll see what the best quarterback, because who knows if it's Arch Manning. I think Arch Manning's going to be in there for 4 years. So I think he's still got another 2-3 years. So who's it going to be? I don't know. But
it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, we've got that. I mean, that's kind of been sitting out there for us all week. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. A lot of great fantasy picks in this one, though, as far as with it.
So what's changed in fantasy since the last time we talked?
As far as since we talked on our last podcast.
Yeah, any player moves or anything that's happened in the last couple weeks that's kind of stood out to you?
As far as players moves, right? Micah Parsons can make that Green Bay team interesting defense more interesting than it used to be. I think I saw like on ESPN Fantasy, like that defense got picked up like plus like 20%, like one of the highest picked up things in the last like 2 days. So it makes it interesting. I don't know if it makes it that. I mean, I'm in another league with the defense. I've got Micah Parsons. That was fantastic.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as big moves, but we did do our draft this week.
Yeah, we had our draft this week. How do you think you did? I've done a couple websites kind of looking through the rosters in our league, and I think you and I are in top 3 or 4 in any of those projections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I thought I did pretty good. My one regret, when we'll kind of get into it, is the 3 Arizona players, right? But if you're going to back Arizona players, I think I backed the right horses: Kyler Murray, Trey McBride, James Conner, all people, I had Trey McBride and James Conner last year, and I still won my division. So I don't think it's terrible to add Kyler Murray. I do have Jared Goff on the bench, so if hopefully he pops off, and I can take another Arizona Cardinal out of there if I have to. But overall, I think I got exactly what I wanted. Something surprised me, which is weird. I called it, and it surprised me still when it was there. Like, to see Justin Jefferson at 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I was contemplating Christian McCaffrey, but you see Justin Jefferson laying there at 6. It's like, okay, well, I mean, I know I down talk JJ McCarthy, but then you start, when he's there actually picking, you're like, maybe it's an O'Connell offense. Who knows? Sam Darnold looked great. He was seeing ghosts like 4 years ago in New
There
York.
hasn't been a lot of information coming out about Justin Jefferson hammy. Are you worried about that at all?
No, I saw that he was practicing probably like a week or two ago, so he was back in practice. It didn't sound like it was too serious. But, I mean, obviously a hammy sucks, and if anything Julio Jones shows us, it's definitely that it can falter a whole season. So I'm hoping better for it, but I mean, from what I hear, I haven't heard anything serious that it's like you should stay away from it, right? It's not like, oh, he has a sore knee. And then, at the beginning of the year, it's like, and Achilles tendonitis. He's out all year long. He's actually in Germany right now.
Yeah.
So nothing like that that worries me on that, which I'm actually glad it did worry some people because I wanted CeeDee Lamb, but if it became, I really wanted a top receiver. My tactic going into that draft was my first round, I needed to get a stud receiver.
Yeah.
And, because I don't have the first two, right? I don't get a Bijan or a Saquon Barkley and stuff like that. I think that having that stud receiver and then I was going to go running back, quarterback, running back.
Oh.
But somehow I went running back, tight end, running back, right? And so Chase Brown was there. I know Bucky Irving was there and Josh Jacobs is there, and I may kick myself in the butt, but I said it on our podcast, all right? I live and breathe what we say here. I love Chase Brown this year, and I really wanted an opportunity to have Chase Brown. And I think he has a lot of catching potential. I know Bucky Irving does too, but I think he has a lot of catching, and he's not competing with anyone. I mean, I know Bucky Irving isn't really competing with Rashid White, but at the same time, like last year, there still was a split of some sort with him, even when he was at his max, right?
Right.
And so Josh Jacobs, I mean, he was all reliable for me last year. So I was like, that was the one that tore me up. But I just love this bad Bengals defense.
Yeah.
So much, because even if it's not a run game that we're playing, I mean, that's a check down. He gets 6, 7 catches. I mean, already racking up the points there. So I was glad that he dropped down to me, and I was glad that I came out with him as well during that. So
Yeah. So I had done dozens of mock drafts at my spot, and I never got Drake London as my second pick ever. And for some reason, no one believes in Michael Penix in that offense, and he fell to me. So I got Jahmyr Gibbs and then Drake London for some reason, and then I got Bucky Irving. I felt like my first 3 picks were home runs, and then I just kind of I didn't do too well after that, but
I don't know. Well, let's go through. I think this would be a fun time to go through some of the teams that we have, our
okay.
teams. So I would
Yeah.
like to go through your team.
All right.
Oh, you're somehow they knew you and me were going to play week 1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but your team's pretty good. I love your running back combo. I do love Drake London. I like Emeka this week, and I think Emeka could be a potential sleeper. Depends on how Godwin comes back.
Right.
But I still think he could be a huge factor and be a league winner.
I
Cortland
think his
Sutton,
target share will be big the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season,
absolutely.
and that's what I'm looking for.
And that's what will dictate, right? It may be big, and then they're just like, well, try to recover fully, Godwin. I think we're good here. So
So going back to start sit, my guy I'm starting over is Courtland Sutton. I've got Sutton on my bench, and I'm starting Egbuka. What do you think about that?
For me, I don't mind it. I know Atlanta's defense last year against the pass was not very good. And so I think they could give up a lot to Emeka this week. The one that kind of I would almost do. I love Courtland Sutton. I got him in a lot of leagues. I think you, or did I pick someone else? I don't know if I picked someone else over but in a lot, I would say like 80% of my mock drafts, I ended up with Courtland Sutton in some way because it's just a great value at where it was. So kudos to you because I loved Courtland Sutton. But on that note, I would say I would almost sit DJ Moore and put Courtland Sutton in because I just don't know what that Chicago offense is going to look like.
We have no idea. That is going to be such a wild card for everyone this season.
Yeah. One thing you do know is that Bo Nix loves throwing the ball to Courtland Sutton, right?
Yeah,
especially in the end zone. So that is one thing. And it's you're in such a good predicament because to be honest, any one of these three guys can pop off for a 2-tutty game. Right. But me personally, if I'm looking at it, I probably would go Courtland Sutton over DJ Moore and give the shot for Emeka.
Yeah.
But
they're all rated just about the same. I think they're all just right there. Just whoever want to play at flex. I think that's.
Yeah, I wonder who do they have ranked higher, right? Isn't it? It's probably going to have to be.
I think DJ and Courtland are ranked higher.
Yeah, I would say they are, but he's getting more points projected though. That's the thing. That's what kind of gets me.
It's going to be that target share early in the season, I think.
Yeah, it's just such a question mark, but you almost take the gamble because you got him, right? Yeah. Like it's almost like if he does Marvin Harrison Jr. it this year, like I'm going to kind of roll with it week 1 at least and see if it's not that situation.
I don't remember. Do you remember what Marvin Harrison Jr. looked like in camp last year? I for some reason, I just don't remember that. All that was coming out of Arizona's camp is they just needed Kyler Murray to study the game more. So I don't remember but Marvin Harrison Jr., I had him. I drafted him high. He disappointed. No question.
So you don't know, but I guess with it, it's a little bit different situation because I think last year they had Marvin Harrison higher than what Emeka was going.
Yeah. Well,
and so I think you
second round.
Yeah, I think you had a good educated guess, or a nice position for where you get him compared to what Marvin Harrison did, right? Because you do still have Courtland Sutton. So if Emeka doesn't work out, you're still like, yeah, he was my second or third receiver I picked up or third or fourth receiver I picked up, right?
Well, you got to go get your guys. And when I look at your lineup, I look at a guy who went and got his guys. I think you made a few picks that you didn't really have a lot of competition for because you just wanted this guy in your team. Calvin Ridley stands out to me. Yeah. He didn't fall far enough for me to grab him, but I know he's your guy, and you went out and got him when you could.
95% of mock drafts, Calvin Ridley ended up on my team. So there was no doubt in my mind when Calvin Ridley was there because I think Courtland Sutton was still. I think I don't know which way it was going around. Hold on, let's just see. I picked him 54th, and you picked up Courtland Sutton. Oh, it's on your bench. Why can't I see your bench? Hold on, sorry. And I picked up Courtland Sutton, or you picked up Courtland Sutton 52nd. So I think I picked you. I think you might have picked him before I could have picked him. Yeah, I got him 54th. Yeah, so you picked on the way up, which sucks. But at the same time, Calvin Ridley was I'm picking up Calvin Ridley.
I would put them in the same class. I think I could have gone either way with that pick. They're both on the top end of their teams. They just tend to be not high scoring teams, Denver and Tennessee. So they're going to get the higher share on some lower scoring teams.
Yeah. So, but I didn't reach. He was still in that same round, but I definitely went for Calvin Ridley. I knew I was going to go Calvin Ridley if he was there.
I know you would. and I don't think it's a bad pick. He's just your guy. I think you also, um, went out and you've got him on your bench, but I know you wanted Eckler. I know you wanted him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just wanted a piece of one of the two. I feel like Merritt and Chris Rodriguez play a lot of similar football styles, and so Austin Eckler could etch that passing back position pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Anything we learned from Jameer Gibbs, if you want to be on the running side or the passing side, you probably want to stay on the passing side. So I think he has the highest ceiling, or not the highest ceiling, but he has a better chance of going and hitting his ceiling. But I mean, at this point, roll a die. Who knows, right? Like there's three running backs that could all become the starter at some point. So, but I'm glad I got him for my bench because it does. Like if he pops off, there's a few of them. He was one of them, and then Jordan Mason was another one that I really feel Aaron Jones does get injured a lot, is very injury prone.
Yeah.
I think last year he almost lost his starting position strictly off fumbles that he had.
Right.
So very versatile, or that position's very weak right now. I think not that it's not like for sure like Aaron Jones is always going to have that position. Jordan Mason played amazing at San Francisco last year when he had the opportunity. So I'm really hoping for that to kind of roll through too.
So there's a guy in our league that I'm paying attention to, and it is Taylor's team.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's team, he goes up against your wife this week,
Mm-hmm.
and
Defending champion.
his team is scary. It is a very good team. I think he's got the best preseason team in our league. He's
Mm-hmm.
got Jaden Daniels, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker III, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Hawkinson. I mean, he it's almost home runs across the board for him. I think Taylor
Mm-hmm.
absolutely had a great draft.
I do too. Some question marks on there that I see is like Garrett Wilson. How good is Justin Fields really going to be? I mean, I hear a
Yeah.
lot of bad things about the Jets. And then McMillan, obviously, Adam Thielen's gone, so he's going to be one of the people. But is it him? Is it Xavier Leggett? Like, who's going to really take over as that alpha receiver?
Yeah.
In that position, or and really how good are the Carolina Panthers going to be? We see Bryce Young at the end of last year? Do we see the Bryce Young at the beginning where he lost his position to Andy Dalton? Right, like which team are we going to see? Overall, though, just a solid lineup. Um, Kenneth Walker is injury prone, but it's usually for like 2-3 games, so you think you're still good there. So I think his starting lineup's solid from top to bottom. I think he's definitely a contender this year, 100%. Jordan Addison, when he comes back, he has that option as well. The rest of his bench, like Javonte Williams, could take over that starting position and have like a Nico, right? Rico Dowdle type of season if he ends up like cementing himself there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like his team a lot. I think it's going to definitely be a competitor for up there this year.
So your
My
wife
wife got
went
a tough
another
top.
year of Christian McCaffrey. How's she feeling about that?
That was a last second decision. So she was really torn on what to do there. Christian McCaffrey or like Puka Nakua, or she's like Malik Neighbors helped me out last year. So maybe I go back to the Maliksters.
Yeah.
But overall, she's like, "What was that stat you said?" I'm like, he gets injured for a season, he gets number 1 or 2 running back for a season, and he gets injured for a season, and it's off and on. So he got injured last year. So if statistically speaking, if it continues on, he could be a huge deal breaker. And she's like, "Well, I still won last year with Christian McCaffrey." So yeah, I'll
Well,
go ahead
look
and
at
say
it
it
this
again.
way. You can't predict injuries in fantasy football,
No.
especially if they come into the year healthy. You can't you just have to take the gamble on a guy. And what Christian McCaffrey is for that offense, he's going to dominate he's going to dominate in all the rushing yards. He's going to dominate in receiving. I mean,
Mhm.
he's going to play every snap for that team, which is exactly what you want in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Everyone gets banged up in football at some point. You have to deal with it. But to start the season, if they want to be relevant, they've got to get it to Christian early and often. So I think that's a good pick for her.
Yeah, and
DeAndre
there's also
Swift,
the
though.
Swift is the one that is going to be right. Like,
Yeah, that's the
honestly,
one.
her team will go as far as Swift will take them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if Swift is having a great year and he's averaging 15, 16, even 14 points a game, I mean, she's going to be looking good because, I mean, she still ended up with Brian Thomas Jr., T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle. That's question mark, but we'll see how that goes.
She's
Right.
rolling several die here. She's rolling several die.
She is. She's going for it. And she picks up Keenan Allen. There's another die to throw in the pot. Cooper
Yeah.
Kupp, another die. Like,
Yeah.
all these guys are so unknown, but it could be. I mean, it could turn out she has one of the best teams with the best benches on here. Ramondre Stevenson it could be the guy there, right? Henderson gets hurt, or even
Yep.
we don't even know what the splits look like. They love Henderson, but like, what does he look like against the starting lineup for a defense instead
She's
of the
got Ray
preseason?
Davis. Like, Ray Davis could absolutely take over that backfield at
Mhm.
some point in Buffalo.
She did admit she did auto draft for 2 picks because we were getting ready for a wedding, and those 2 picks so happened to be Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa. So she's like, why is it doing this to me? Why am I keep getting quarterbacks? I don't want quarterbacks. So
Yeah, I think she did okay, though. I think she
yeah.
still got a great team.
Joe
It's
Burrow, we didn't even mention Joe, but she got Joe Burrow. I mean, that guy can get you some points.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's fun. Daniel, he picked every 49er he could find again outside of Christian McCaffrey.
Right, he
Brock
just didn't have the
Purdy,
opportunity.
George Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, 49ers D. He's starting half of them, but yeah, that's classic Daniel. Josh Foote.
Hey, last year it worked out for him.
Yeah, well,
I think he also had Jamar Chase, but
yeah. Josh has Tyreek Hill, which a lot of question marks with Tyreek.
Mhm.
Yeah, DK Metcalf. Don't know what that's going to look like yet, and with Aaron Rodgers and that whole offense. Kyron Williams.
I like Kyron Williams. I think his running backs are really freaking good, in my opinion. Bijan Robinson, Kyron Williams, both cowbells.
Yeah.
Players. Receivers, I do like Jerry Jeudy, to be honest. He was someone I was really trying to target, and Josh took him way earlier than I would take him. But
Yeah.
I liked Jerry Jeudy, so I think he could be a definite stud, especially with Flacco starting. He's going to be trying to toss that ball.
He's
Mark
also got some
Andrews,
great sleepers on his team. Jacoby Myers, Josh Downs, and
Travis Etienne.
Mims Jr., Travis Etienne. I think he's got some guys on his bench that if they start popping, he's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's talk about your cousin Ryan here.
Oh my God!
So
Ryan.
he started this hype train of quarterbacks in the second round. I think he was pick 11.
Ryan sabotaged the draft.
Okay. Yeah, it was wild. He picked up Derrick Henry, which then Josh Allen. So he picked up 2 really dominant players. Although Josh Allen a little bit earlier for me, I would probably, me personally, I go like Derrick Henry and Nico Collins or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still ends up with Chuba Hubbard as a backup running back. Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a coin flip. But out of camp, I've heard nothing but Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray are getting on the same page, looking amazing together. So it could be Zay Flowers. Oh, man, I stayed away from Zay Flowers. I'm going to be straight with you. I think I had an opportunity around further than I thought I would, and I still didn't pick him up because it's just, you never know. That's such a run-heavy team. So you just never know. And Lamar Jackson throws the ball around, right? Like, he likes Bateman, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, like Zay Flowers. There's so much talent on that team that he's throwing the ball around, right?
He threw 41 touchdowns last year.
Mm-hmm.
He does spread that ball around between that group. And
how many touchdowns do you think Zay Flowers ended up with last year out of that 41?
Man, probably 4
on the dot. 4 touchdowns. So you know what I mean? Like, it's like he's throwing touchdowns, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not like circulated around like one guy of getting all those touchdowns, right? I think Bateman had more than Flowers did in touchdowns.
And I think people wanted Zay Flowers to be that guy to pop off the charts and win their
Yeah.
leagues for him, but he's just not that guy yet. He could
Yeah.
be.
No, absolutely not. So Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, what Danny Dimes are you getting this year, you know? So, and then if not, Anthony Richardson goes 4 for 22.
I think it's going to be a long year for Ryan. I think it
Yeah.
is. I think he's relying on a few guys that are a
I
little
do think
older.
Juwan Jennings is a great pickup for most of the year. I mean, he's definitely was the number one guy there when Brandon Ayuk wasn't playing
He's
last year.
already banged up, and he's going to stay banged up, man.
We'll see, man. I love Juwan Jennings. I think Juwan Jennings is going to be a great pick there. Ricky Pearsall's still also going to be good. So, but two quarterbacks early: Caleb Williams, Justin Fields. That's
He's up
wild to
against
me.
Cam. Cam's got Baker, Saquon, Cook, Evans, Worthy, Bowers, Odunze. He's got a
Cam's
stacked
loaded.
team.
Cam's loaded right now. You know,
I
think
feel
he's
like
got
they're
a
all
lot of
home runs to start the season. I think he's got a great – these are all basically number one guys on their teams to start the season.
Yeah, I think so. James Cook's the only one that scares me. There was so much sharing the ball. I know he got a ton of touchdowns last year. I mean, a ton of touchdowns. He ended up with 16 touchdowns last season, which is great. But does that continue? Josh Allen's a big guy who pushes through at the goal line, stealing some. Ray Davis saw a lot of touches. Montgomery got a lot of or Ty got a lot of touches in that, right? Is that his name, Ty? Their receiving one.
His backup running backs are Caleb Johnson, which we don't know what that's going to look like yet, and
No.
Jaden Blue, another big question mark.
Right. So he's really counting on James Cook to be this 16 touchdown guy.
Yeah.
I do like Caleb Johnson. I don't like Arthur Smith and don't trust him as far as I can throw him. So that one scares me a lot. Jaden Blue could not even see the field this year, right?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Maybe very shortly. Like they might like Deuce Vaughn better than they like Jordan Blue. And now we'll see. I mean, I think they'll give him a shot. I don't know if he'll be the starter, but I mean, you forget Miles Sanders is still on that team, right? Like,
oh wow,
yeah.
He'll be a trick guy. He'll come out and drop into the flat. He's not blocking anybody at his age.
No, but I mean, you still could have, right? Like, he's still going to take significant time. I think there's a lot of like, there's not as much Javonte Williams, and then you go into Miles Sanders, and then Jaden Blue could take that part of the job. Deuce Vaughn still there. Like, there's a lot of I still think there's a lot of work for Jaden Blue to get to like a starting role where you're playing him in a week.
I think I mean, you're the Cowboys fan, but I think Javonte Williams is going to tote the rock for them for at least the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, if he can get even half of the snap back that he got when he was coming out of college. I mean, he's another year off injury. It's a gamble, but who knows, right? If he's looking like good as he is, because he was like, you should have had him type of guy when he was a rookie.
All right. So do you want to gamble with how your night's going to go? Let's talk about Skip's team. So Skip. I got nothing but good things to say.
Let me see your Hall of Gods.
I got nothing but good things to say about Skip. We are already. I mean, what could go wrong here? He's got Breece Hall. He's got Scary Terry. He's got Merritt on his bench. Like, what could go wrong? It looks like this team is set for glory. He's going to be just fine. We have nothing negative to say about Skip's team.
I do have something to say about Breece.
No, we don't have anything negative to say, Jordan.
I'm sorry. Listen, Skip's team is actually a really good team. I thought he did really well. He didn't try to take a Kyron Williams in the first round like last year. I thought he did take some opportunities, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown's a great pick. Jonathan Taylor's a good pick. Jalen Hurts. He kind of went around. He actually kind of did the same style of draft I did, but
Okay.
he went Jalen Hurts. I wasn't willing to go down to Jalen Hurts.
Not at that round. I wasn't.
And Trey McBride was still there. Like, it really shocked me. There was a lot of drafts that I did, mock drafts I did, and Trey McBride didn't drop to me very, very often in the third round. And so when that happened, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going tight end here. And so that's where I ended up. But overall, I think he is.
Trey if Drake London hadn't fallen to me. I couldn't believe it. I was getting McBride a lot, or I would get McBride or but like all of a sudden Drake London fell to me at the end of the second round. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out. But yeah,
I agree.
Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor.
Breece Hall scares me. I think he's sharing time even in preseason. So it's like, Braylon Allen's going to be a heavy part of that offense.
Does Breece even want to be there?
He does. He says he wants to be the man. And Skip talked about this. He said listening or watching his interviews and stuff, he wants to be the man. He doesn't want to split touches. He's not one of those guys who's like, yeah, give me more, give the guy some touches,
Yeah.
He wants the ball. So seems like he's hungry, could come back and have a great year. But then there's also the fact that Justin Fields is a running quarterback. So I don't think that helps him any. Typically a running quarterback's not going to just pass it down to the running back. So I think that kind of hurts him in that field as well. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see. Terry McLaurin, I think, is a good pick. I mean, I do like Terry McLaurin now that he has signed his extension with Washington.
Yeah, I think that they paid him and he's going to do just fine.
Yeah. Jameson Williams is one of those, right? He always reminds me of like a J.R. Smith. He's either hot or he's not.
Or he's throwing the ball out of bounds for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, David Njoku is, we'll see. He has got Flacco throwing the ball, and we all know Flacco, savior.
Love that tight end.
So he'll throw that out. I like Tyler Warren as his backup, though. I think Tyler Warren does have a chance, depending on how Daniel Jones does.
I love Tyler Warren. I hate that he didn't fall to me later, but I think Skip just got him just a little bit above where I was comfortable taking him.
Yeah. I was trying to get a backup tight end myself, so it was either going to be Tyler Warren in that round, or it was going to be Kyle Pitts in the later rounds. So I ended up with Kyle Pitts. I was happy with it, but Quinshon Judkins, if he comes back, I think he is the starting guy. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't really been at training camp, so maybe it's a while, but I think he's got the talent. They drafted him to be in that position. Cedric Tillman, I like, once again, anything. Man, he's got some Cleveland guys here.
Skip.
But I like Cedric Tillman.
I think deep down, probably.
Yeah, I do like Cedric Tillman. I think he's a good sleeper. Once again, he did have a big share of percentage of volume last year for a big streak of it. So I like him there.
Well, he's up against Cameron Thompson. I don't know Cameron Thompson.
It's a work buddy of Skip's.
New to the league. So they get to have a fight at work this week. But he's got Achane, who I love, but is banged up, right? Not sure what he's going to look like. Probably going to tear an Achilles week 4. Kamara, who carried me for the first 3 or 4 weeks of last year. Look, say what you want about the Saints. Kamara is going to he's going to be fantastic as long as he's healthy.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua, JSN, who I don't believe in, but always proves me wrong. Devontae Smith. Don't know what you're going to get from Devontae. What do you expect from Devontae this year?
I think it could be good. I mean, here's my thing. I think it's going to be hard. They're going to be a running heavy offense.
Push.
But I mean, still, they throw the ball. I mean, got 833 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. So he still had a really good season last year, a decent season, probably a flex position type of season. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, who knows, right? Like it's so hard when the team has Saquon Barkley and they're going to run that down, and then Jalen Hurts to run that audible with him. So that option with him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how he does, but I think he could be a good pickup there.
He's got Kincaid. I'm a little worried about Kincaid. I'm a
Kincaid
Utah
scares
fan.
me.
I like Kincaid. I want to believe in Kincaid. But yeah, in that offense, he had some drops.
He
Not on the
shared a lot of
page with
time with
his.
Dawson Knox.
Yeah, he's not really playing like a traditional tight end role for them either. It's more of just another receiver,
Yeah.
and he's not getting the looks. It's interesting.
I mean, he only had 448 yards last year. He only had 2 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, not getting it.
Yeah. So, I
Not in
mean,
that offense.
no, so that one scares me too. But his bench isn't super impressive outside of I do like Jerome Ford. If Judkins doesn't come back, I think Jerome
Yeah.
Ford could be the man there. So could really get you some. I would honestly play him this week against Cincinnati because we know that their defense is so shitty that you can run the ball on them. So I would
And
play him
he's
over
sitting on
Devontae
Chris
Smith.
Godwin, who's the nemesis of my success.
Yeah. Chris Godwin. Let's see how he comes back. I almost wanted him, but he's just it's so scary coming off an injury like that. Like I saw the game that he snapped his ankle, and
Yeah.
those are hard to get that punch back. At
Yeah.
least the first season, right? I think after this season, next season, he could have a good year. They might trade him depending on how Amika does, and he has a comeback year with somebody else. But I like him. It's going to be depending on what him we get, obviously.
So we've gone through the league here, Jordan. Do you have any like outlandish bold picks for me today? Anything that's on your mind that you're thinking about when it comes to fantasy football?
When it comes to fantasy football, I don't know if I have any like real crazy bold picks. Some of which, I mean, you said George Pickens is going to be the number 10 receiver, so that could be a definite possibility.
I I absolutely think that Dallas is going to need to outscore teams, and
Mm-hmm.
that CeeDee Lamb and Pickens have. I guess that's best case scenario for the Dallas Cowboys because
Yeah.
otherwise it's gonna be. I see you've got Yankee gears on right now. You got your nice new hat. I love your hat,
Yeah.
but the Cowboys gear needs to come on soon, man. Yeah, I see it up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I've got the MVP of the team. Anybody who's seen me in it, I got that Brandon Aubrey jersey.
Okay, so I wanted to do something new tonight. I surprised Jordan with this, but I've been thinking about this and I put this together. I wanted to go through just basic kind of concepts for fantasy football for someone that's either not played a lot of fantasy football or someone that just wants an edge. We saw it in our league, our draft this year. There was a panic on quarterbacks. There was a panic on tight ends. Like there was a couple panic moments in our league, and don't panic this season. Don't panic when you see someone like last year. We were talking about this earlier when Westbrook Akine had a big week. Don't panic and drop someone who's reliable and pick up Westbrook Akine. Look at the team. So let's start with quarterbacks. I want to start with quarterbacks. And the number one thing when you were in fantasy football is you were looking for rushing production. And why does it matter? Rushing yards count the same as passing yards, but QBs, if they rush, they rack them up faster. Rushing TDs are also worth 6 points instead of 4. So that's a big advantage for your quarterback. So Jalen Hurts, he was 12th in passing, but he was 3rd in fantasy because he had 15 rushing TDs and over 600 rushing yards. He helped people win last year. Josh Allen, he had 15 rushing TDs, and that carried him to QB1. He didn't get as many TDs as Lamar, but because they were rushing TDs for Josh, he ended up being the number one quarterback last year. So who this year is going to lead the league in rushing production, Jordan?
I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels. I think he showed a lot on his feet last year. Honestly, was the reason I picked him over Caleb Williams last year because I thought of how great he was on his feet. And he still has an arm, but I think Jaden Daniels has a great chance on it. But if you want a bold pick here, Cam Ward,
Okay.
number one. So no, I'm just kidding. Not Cam. It's not going to be Cam Ward, guys.
Cam Ward. Cam Ward rushing touchdowns. That's
It's
crazy. That offensive line sucks.
yeah, it's going to be. I think Cam Ward's going to have a good year though this year.
Okay.
He may
I like
slip
it.
top 15. I don't think he's worth in the 12-man league to start, but I think he's going to have a good year. Obviously, by my pick from Calvin Ridley, I have faith in that. But overall, yeah, rushing production is enormous. It's going to be the best thing. It's going to be the best thing that you can look for in a quarterback. I got Kyler Murray, right? For example, great rusher, multiple 50-yard touchdowns, quick guy. He does look to run the ball. So I have a chance to be a top 5 quarterback with Kyler Murray when I picked him like quarterback 8, 9 or something like that. So that's just with what rushing attempts, right? Jared Goff isn't probably not going to have as good of a chance to do that unless he just throws the living crap out of it, right? Kyler Murray could have a decent year throwing and still be a top 5 quarterback in this league because he can rush for touchdowns.
And we talked about this last year. We've got several Lions fans as followers, and they were like, our guys, the Goff is the number 1 guy in the league. Everyone should have Jared Goff, but it just didn't end up that way,
No, absolutely not.
And that's because of rushing production. I wish Jordan Love ran it a little more, but we got to keep him healthy too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about running backs. So it's not just that they need to be the bell cow on their team, but they also need to be getting have some route running where they're the first guy that gets the ball. Like I think of a guy like Christian McCaffrey or a guy like Alvin Kamara. Like if you can get a guy like that on your team, if you notice that that you've got a running back that is also the first guy the quarterback is looking for in a route tree, like that was the first read, that is the kind of guy you want to have on your fantasy team. This is a guy, kind of an outlier last year was Rachaad White. He wasn't that great of a running back, but because of his 80% plus snap share and 70 plus targets, he was a top 12 back. So if you can identify someone who is a prime target for, if week 2, week 3, suddenly we're seeing a trend like this running back, get him on your team as soon as you can.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like a guy like there's 2 running backs in Detroit, right? And the one guy that you really want is the catching one, right? 60 or 52 receptions last year on 63 targets. To get that's
my guy.
What is that an average of? That's like you're probably averaging like 4 touches or 4 receptions a game, 5 targets a game. Like
4 is the benchmark. 4 is like the benchmark for running backs. If they're getting 4 targets a game, that is an elite running back.
Yeah, and he's 517 extra yards. Like that's 51 points in the year that you wouldn't have gotten without him. 4 touchdowns, it's additional things. So it's just there's so much more like what that gives you. He doesn't have to be like the dominant running back. He can share time with David Montgomery, but because he has so much passing potential or reception potential, he becomes a top 3 running back in the league.
So just thinking of guys that maybe change teams or guys that, because you can't trust last year, right? Like I think of a running back like Deebo Samuel. Deebo got a lot of receiving yards out of that 49ers team. Do you expect that to continue with Washington?
I do. I think he could have a good year this year. Looking for another person. I think they said that they were going to try to use him as a running back this year as well, as like San Francisco did. And when Deebo was at his best, I think, was when he was playing that running back, a lot of running role, plus getting a ton of receptions. So I think he could have a good year this year. I mean, he's probably not going to be top 10 receiver, but I mean, top 20, 25 would be a success, I think, this year for Deebo Samuels.
So we talked about receiving running backs, but also there are running backs that just get the goal line carries.
Yeah.
These guys are the ones that are just punching it in. The example is David Montgomery in 2023. He didn't really do much, but he had 12 touchdowns inside the 10-yard line. Uh, who's that guy this year that maybe he doesn't pop off? He's not going to do everything for that team, but he comes in, he's sharing targets, but he gets those red zone targets, red zone runs, and gets a dozen touchdowns for you.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of goes with like being a cowbell as well, right? I mean, you look at Josh Jacobs last year, 15
Yeah,
touchdowns. I
right.
mean, that's a touchdown, 1.1, 1.2 touchdowns a game. It's wild. And that's a perfect example, right? Because yeah, 1,300 yards it's good. It's a good year, right? But he only got like 36 catches all last year,
But he
one
punches
touchdown
it
from
in.
there. But he punched in touchdowns. I mean, essentially, he had 15 touchdowns. A lot of those had to be coming within the red or the 5 yard line. Um, so I mean, I thought he's a perfect example. The person, if you're asking me who's going to be that person this year, as far as with it, I think it's going to. I think honestly, I think it's going to be Ashton Genty.
That's the big question, right?
Yeah,
What's
I think
what's
he is
Ashton
going to
gonna
be good.
be? Pete Carroll's gonna run it, right? He's gonna run it.
He's going to run it. Ash, I think without on that, Geno Smith is he's not an amazing quarterback, but he's a good quarterback, right? He
Yeah,
threw a
he is.
ton last year. He's got a lot of completions. He was able to give Smith and Jigba a lot of points. Even DK Metcalf had a decent year, so he's able to support those two. Plus, Tyler Lockett was somehow always on somebody's bench because he could potentially have a decent week. So, I think Geno Smith's good. They can get down the field. I think they're going to run it with Ashton, and
But
yeah,
what was our
exciting.
criticism of Geno last year? He's a statue.
Oh yeah, he's
Like,
not running. You don't want him as a quarterback in your fantasy,
so
but
so he is a play action. They have got to run the ball to get him going. And they tried that with Kenneth Walker. Had a good season running the ball. I think Ashton Genty is going to be in the same situation. He's going to need to take that pressure off of Geno.
yeah,
They're going to be a run first offense, I think. We'll see.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, outside of obviously, the common people, right? Like the Derrick Henrys, the Saquon Barkley. Well, maybe not even Saquon. Saquon's in the category because he gets a lot taken away from Jalen Hurts. So,
Yeah, but
not
that
that
being said,
punch
like
guy.
Jalen also like he opens up a lot of lanes for Saquon. He gets
Yeah,
50-yard runs because they don't know who to defend.
yeah,
Let's move to
absolutely.
let's move to wide receivers real quick. I just want to talk about target share. So in my mind, and you can tell me if I'm crazy, but 20% plus of target share is elite. And this is
Mhm.
why I drafted Egbuka this year. Is I think especially the first few weeks, he's going to get at least a 20% target share because Chris Godwin is out. He's shown he's got great hands, even though he is undersized. Um, in this, it's just they don't need to be efficient to get you numbers. They just have to have the opportunity. This is why T. Higgins is great, even though he is the number 2 receiver there. He still gets a high target share. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm not high on him, but he still gets that ball a lot from Jared Goff because they throw it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, target share, man.
yeah. Hey, that's why like it's so hard. Like, so when you're in the sixth position and you get Justin Jefferson dropping down to you,
Yeah.
you're talking about a guy whose career average is about 30%, right?
Wow.
Um, he got 29.79% last year, or yeah, last year. So like it's hard for you to pass up on somebody who has that type of usage.
Yep.
He's a first read target. It's like you were talking about with the running back, right? He's the first guy it doesn't matter if it's Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy, Joshua Dobbs, right? You see, if the jet is on your side, he's going to be the first person that you're trying to read that ball to.
And he's gonna be open most of the time.
Yeah.
He's beat his guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And so he's such a good route runner. So there's a lot more that goes into it, but he's going to get the shares. He's going to get force fed. I think Malik Neighbors is a perfect example last year. He just got there wasn't anyone else to throw to. I mean, Wandale Robinson, but outside of that, like it was just he was forced to get the ball pretty much every time. So, and I'm just looking up here. Hold on. I want to see what was Malik Neighbors' target share last year.
Let's see if I think I did look that up.
34.9%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Target share, and he ran 97.5% routes.
And so that, he didn't even have great quarterback play.
No.
Just based on opportunity, he was able to have a great year. Number 3, did he finish number 3 or number 2?
He was number 1 in target share.
But like as far as like points for the year, was he like the number? I think he was like number 2 or number 3 last year.
Yeah, hold on. That's a good question. Let's see, 2024. They considered to be a top wide. What was he ranked last year?
Another guy that got a lot of targets was Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and he's a great example, right?
BTJ.
He was a great example of getting a lot of share, getting a lot of those targets his way. Turns his season into a really good season. He got more as the season went on, so that's why he essentially got better and better. So Brian Thomas is a perfect example of just getting that target share.
I'm interested to see what happens with Matthew Golden with the Green Bay Packers. Is he going to end up getting a 20% plus target share with Green Bay? Because they drafted him in the first round. First time they've taken a guy in the first wide receiver in the first round in a long time. Is he going to have a 20% share? If him and Jordan Love, I mean, gosh, I was watching the preseason. If Dobbs drops one more pass, I swear, to Valhalla, man. I'm telling you, the nerves have got to go. At some point, you just have to be an NFL player, and Golden has just performed so far. I expect him. I'm very excited for him. He's not on my team. Who's got him stashed on their bench? Who has Golden?
I can't remember who had Golden. Someone.
I want to know right now. Someone's starting him?
Yeah, Matthew Golden, the Bears.
Oh,
has him in his flex.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
That is irony. Oh my God.
The Bears is starting Matthew Golden.
Oh my God. That is a disrespect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I mean, that's why I'm so hyped on Calvin Ridley, right? He had a 23% target, 24% target share last year, 24% in 2023. So I mean, they throw him the ball.
Yeah, they do. Well, he deserves it. He's an amazing wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about another stat. This is kind of a deeper stat, and I've never even heard of it, so I'm curious of what you think. This one is called yards per route run. So this is the gold standard for wide receiver efficiency. So this to me is what makes you elite, but also it might mean like this is where you find your sleeper. So you may not get a lot of touches, but because you do so well, you're going to be so it says Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson, they're over 2 consistently.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I don't know anything about that. Have you heard about that stat?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just shows how many right. How many am I getting that's like a ice or an ISO play or something like that, right? Like how many am I getting out in the flat? How many am I getting big yardage on, right? Because I can get down the field as far as with it. So yeah, I've heard that stat before.
Someone like, I guess Tyreek is great, but like Jalen Waddle or some of these guys, a lot of the times they're catching the ball in the backfield. So I think that kind of limits them a little bit.
Yeah, you get
Uh,
the point, but a lot of it's not right.
but
Thought
here
those
we
big
go.
plays.
Red zone targets, man. Red zone targets are where some of these guys get their money. We're talking Mike Evans. We're talking Devontae Adams. We're talking these big older guys. I mean, even Mark Andrews, right? Like this is where these guys pay off for you.
Mhm.
Um, certainly a guy like certainly Jalen Hurts and Saquon take away from these red zone targets. But yeah, if you can find a guy that gets a lot of red zone targets, who's the new guy that's gonna get a lot of these this year, do you think?
I think McMillan could be a guy that gets some if Carolina can get down. He's a big guy in that red zone to
Yeah.
kind of get targeted and everything like that. But other than him, I don't know new guys, right? The people you talk about is that Mike Evans, Brock Bowers, obviously is.
Yeah.
But I think Trey McBride gets over 10. I know he didn't do it last year, and I think it's kind of a freak show that he didn't get it more touchdowns than he got last year. I think he was still like the number 2 tight end, and he got 2 receiving touchdowns, and he was still the number 2 tight end in the league. So uh, I think he could go over 10, or he got 6. No, yeah, he got 2 touchdowns, which is crazy to me. I'm looking at that for the first time. That's mind blowing to me because he always scored me like 15 to 20 points every week.
Wow. Well, I look
So
at a guy like Travis Kelce. He's not what he was physically before,
no,
but now, I mean, you're kind of relying on red zone targets, right?
yeah, and that's what I like about. I think Trey McBride's going to be the guy that's going to have a lot of red zone targets this year.
Yeah, I wish Green Bay had, one of these guys, but Tucker Kraft hasn't really proven to be that red zone target that you want.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun, man.
yeah,
I,
that was a
I'm
blast.
gonna kind of every week kind of just look at these stats and see if there's someone out there that just pops, so that our viewers can avoid the Westbrook Akine effect. They can
Yeah.
avoid making that rush pickup for no reason. Like did he just was it a fluke or is it something we can depend on?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love going through stats like that. That really makes it so it's I think it really dictates who they are as a player rather than just trying to ride a flow.
Right. Well, we didn't talk about Caleb's team. Have you met Caleb?
I've never met Caleb, but I've talked to Caleb plenty on here, and he's always had my back on the group chats. So
So I think Caleb made some mistakes, and
okay.
you can tell me if I'm wrong. So Caleb's team, he took Lamar away too early. He's
Mm-hmm.
got Tony Pollard as his bell cow.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously took Jamar Chase over one. That was a home run. Lab McConkey, sure, but then he's got Tucker Kraft and the this guy. We don't know what to expect from Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Travis Hunter?
I listen, Brian Thomas is still going to be the guy. He's going to be the one with the target shares, I think. I think Travis Hunter is going to be playing both sides of the field. I don't know how heavy that is. I think they are saying he'll play a lot of offense. They're trying to say even if he plays a little bit more defense, he'll still have offense should be a priority from my understanding. But you still just don't know. I mean, I have a hard time touching a guy that could potentially play like a 60% offense, 40% defense, even if it's at that. It's not a ton. I don't know. It's just, it should be interesting to see how much play he gets. But even if he plays a lot heavily on the offense, I still think that Brian Thomas is going to be the number one guy there, soaking up a lot of those things.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think Brian Thomas is proven, and he is hungry for
But I do love
catches.
his receivers. Jamar Chase and Lad McConkey is great. Lamar Jackson's obviously the number one guy, but he did take him too early. I think in the number one position, you needed to really solidify running backs early. But
This
I
is the
could come back.
panic, right?
Huh?
This is the panic
This
because
was the
Josh
panic,
Allen was
right?
off the board.
Josh Allen's off, and then the number one pick on his way back around gets Lamar Jackson. Now the real panic, like Tay's like, I gotta get Jaden Daniels now.
Yeah.
But I'm also, if he wouldn't have picked Jaden, I'm just upset because if he wouldn't have picked Jaden Daniels, I'd have picked Jaden Daniels.
Well, sure. If they
Mid third round, it made sense to me.
Yeah. Once you've got your two top 24 picks, you can take a flyer on a top end quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think Josh Allen went like 12 or 13 in our league. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. No. Well, Skip for sure wasn't getting him this year.
My goodness.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Caleb's team is interesting. Deebo Samuels, I do like Deebo, but a lot of questionable people on the bench. J.K. Dobbins, what's he going to be like with R.J. Harvey there? But I got to look into seeing. I thought like a lot of people liked R.J. Harvey. I think
he's like number 5 on their depth chart.
Yeah, I read something like that he was going to be like the number 4 guy on the depth chart.
Yeah, he's not shown in camp that he's their guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to. So, is he going to be a factor? He is going to be a factor in some way, but he's not going. Well, actually, he might not even be a factor, to be honest with you. But they're projecting him for 13.2 points. So,
we'll see.
Yeah. Be interesting. So,
well, I'll tell you this: I'm going to be glued to the television set this weekend. Very excited for football, dude. I can't even believe it. Listen, if there is one ad on Red Zone, I'm going to flip out. If there is one ad, if I'm sitting there on my television and there's one ad, I might email the Disney freaking CEO. Like, what are we doing? We have ruined football for me. Okay.
That's why you just got to get the ticket. Just watch every game. Oh, there's a commercial. Here's another game on my four squares here.
I don't.
Last year we brought another TV downstairs, mostly because we were watching. We were watching Canelo fight, and then also they were fighting in the Sphere in the MMA fight for the first night. So we got both of them and watched them both at the same time. But we left it down there, and we had like in the morning we had 8 games rolling.
That's awesome.
4 screen here and a 4 screen here. It was like, all right, which one is who's in the red zone? Let's turn it over to there. Think.
So let's hear it, Jordan. What is your prediction? Who is going to win our fantasy league this year? Who's gonna do it?
I'm keeping it in the household this year, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to pat my own back, but I feel like I got a pretty decent team. Like, here's the thing. Like, I think you are winning in every position except for 2 against me in the offensive side of things, like without kickers, defenses, and
my tight end is garbage. He plays for a bad team.
But I'm projected to beat you by almost 10 points.
Well, that depends on where you get your projection, my friend. That depends on where you get your projection. I think that is going to be highly disputed. But also there's a lot of question marks. We'll find out real soon.
Yeah.
How good our swings are.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be 10, but what I'm saying is essentially like, I feel like my team has obviously none of them, like, I mean, obviously outside of Justin Jefferson, it's not like anything's like super special, but everyone consistently averages like 13 to 15 points throughout
that is if you accept ESPN's projection.
I accept them.
Oh, I do not. Mike Clay can what he has let me down so many times. It's ridiculous. Like, no, it's I think he's good at his job, but come on, man. Let's get it together.
Justin Jefferson's going for 30, so he's already.
I haven't watched any of JJ McCarthy in the preseason. Have you watched any of that?
No.
but I've heard really good things.
Yeah,
So
I hope so.
I hope that goes well for you.
Me too. I mean, once again, I'm a believer it's an O'Connell offense. It's not a JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold or Joshua Dobbs, right? Like Joshua Dobbs, you remember Joshua Dobbs had a period where it was like, oh, he looks great for
He
Minnesota.
had 2 weeks and then he fell apart.
Yeah. But
He had 2 good weeks.
Kevin O'Connell offense, not the
astronaut.
quarterback. So I think it's going to be fine. Justin Jefferson.
I've got some worries about Arch Manning 2.0. I mean, JJ McCarthy, not a ton of experience in college. Maybe he sat out last year, didn't really do a whole lot.
I think he's going to come out slinging, bro. I think either way,
and
regardless, they're
throwing
going
those
to figure out.
interceptions.
They're going to figure out a way to get Justin Jefferson's his touches.
I'm going to have I'll have seats to see JJ McCarthy later this season in Lambeau.
Oh, so you're hoping he's not going to do great this year?
No, I hope he does well and we beat him.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, no offense, you guys are like one of if you're like our non-division rivals.
Certainly when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah. So I am not voting against the Packers, but I'm definitely not voting for the Packers.
Well, I think the Packers did kind of make like a lot of enemies by signing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows Dez Bryant caught that ball. Everyone knows. Everyone but the refs that game knew that Dez Bryant had that catch. So, Judy or Golden week 1? I would go with Jared. I would go with Judy for sure. I just think that Joe Flacco, once again, he showed on the Colts. He showed that he was willing to throw it and still was pretty accurate. And I think he's going to continue to throw it. And Judy's going to be his number 1 target. I think see what Golden does week 1, because he could definitely change that perspective for me. But if you're asking me which one, I'd probably go with Judy in that one.
I'm loving Judy. We don't know what Golden's going to do yet.
Yeah. Rate my team.
All right, rate this team.
Hurts, Barkley, Aaron Jones, Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, Bijan Robinson, Ollie Gordon. I mean, how many running backs do you get in this league, bro? That is wild. Brian Robinson, Ollie Gordon, Devontae Smith, Chris Godwin, Shakir, Memes, and who should I trade for a receiver?
I'm excited for Mims. I think later in the season that's going to be a good pickup.
Yeah, I actually don't mind. I actually don't mind your team, Devontae Smith and Chris Godwin. You did go heavy. I mean,
he's got Ollie Gordon. He just got dropped by Skip in our league. What do you think of Ollie Gordon?
I mean, I think what's his name? Jalen Wright is hurt, so he's going to be the second guy in that offense where Echan's already kind of hurt. So,
are you going to pick up Gordon though?
I would pick him up late, super late. I had him for a minute, but somebody dropped Amari Cooper. I always go heavy on running back. I think you have a good team. I don't know who you would trade though for a receiver, because even though Blake Corum and Brian Robinson, I think you have good trading material there. If later down the season, I don't think there's anyone that you could trade right now. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anyone to trade for. Brian Robinson might be good. If you can, like, if you have Kyren Williams and Aaron Jones, is that Kyren Williams? That's who you have there?
That's true. I don't know if it's Caleb Williams.
2 running backs. Yeah, so you could get rid of Robinson, and I'd get rid of Robinson and Jones and get yourself a really good receiver. I mean, it's really good. Probably like, I don't think you get Drake London out of it, but you could get, depending on how desperate they are, you could get like a Calvin Ridley or a Courtland Sutton, or if you want to just trade one, maybe you could get a Brian Robinson. Yeah, I think you'd still have to trade 2, but like a Brian Robinson, Corum maybe for like, I don't know.
He wants
I'm
to
trying to
trade
think.
Barkley. Well, if you trade Barkley, you're going to get whatever
Chris
receiver
Olave.
you're going to get whatever receiver you want if you trade Barkley.
Aaron and Barkley. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, you're going to have to get rid of one of your good ones. Like, even though you have a good amount of running backs, you are going to have to get rid of one of your good one. And I think Jones and Robinson is your best bet at getting a good receiver, because I think Brian Robinson already has a name. People trust that Christian McCaffrey is probably very prone to being injured.
Yeah.
So I think he is a enticing name, and then you throw a name in like, hey, Aaron Jones is with it. He's a starter to start the season. I think you could get something out of it. I don't know. Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley wouldn't be a bad choice for you. I guess you could go. I mean, you could try to get a Mike Evans too, reaching for it. You could try to get a Mike Evans, which I think if you get a Mike Evans, that's a fantastic pickup. But yeah, I mean, someone like that range, I don't think you'll get like a Puka Nakua or an Amon-Ra St. Brown for that, but you could definitely still pick up some, if you trust in Marvin Harrison Smith, something like that.
Yeah, man, I think that's good advice. And sometimes you might have someone in your league that's not as savvy, so you might want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and look how desperate they are, man. Godwin's not bad. Yeah, toss in Godwin. But he could potentially be good. I would, yeah. I think just kind of fill it. Maybe when I'm trading personally, I'm gonna throw a few offers, right? Here, let
Jordan
me throw
is
an
a
offer
trader.
Yeah.
Jordan would trade his mother if he could get a good pickup halfway through the season. Like he will throw out so many scenarios throughout the season.
Truly believe that if there's people to trade and I feel like I could use a position, I'm not going to stop trying to get something for, right? I'm looking at all the teams that need people, who had a bad week this week that I think is going to be good and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, throw out B-Rob and Aaron Jones first. And then if they decline it, then maybe throw Godwin to sweeten the pot. And even look at their lower, right? Maybe look to see if they have something like a receiver lower, like a Beck or a Kyle Williams or something in those aspects that you could just be like, hey, throw this, your third receiver that you think could be doing good.
I think you say it Besh. I think his last name is Besh.
Besh, right?
Besh.
Beach.
I think it's soft. I think it's Besh.
Is he French?
I don't know, man.
So, but there's a lot of talent out there that you can kind of grab off somebody's bench that you're just like, hey, just throw like a Cedric Tillman would be perfect, right?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I think that's a guy that nobody's really like, oh yeah, I got Cedric Tillman, but he could be turn out to be a good number 2 in that area.
Mims, I think Mims is another one of those guys kind of hanging out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can just tack on.
Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully that answers your question, man.
Hey, I appreciate the sub.
Appreciate it.
We'll be here all year, man. Typically, we do our broadcast through YouTube, and we post our videos here, and then we hop over to TikTok to talk to our main audience. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah. You got something in idea?
All right, let's hear it. So do you already have trade ideas for this season, Jordan?
I may. I just have to see, like, I'm thinking maybe like a James. Here's a hard thing. Like, if I'm trading like somebody, I might try to like position like a Chris Olave trade with like an Austin Eckler and try to get another good running back.
So I mean, you wait for that good week though, right? You wait for that.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it comes, right? Like, you hate to wait for that big week and then like this is the best that you're going to get out of them. Putting in now, hold on.
Oh, he's putting it in now. Okay.
All right, love
A
it.
little
Let's
drama here. I
go.
love it. Let's get this trade going.
Yeah.
That's funny. Just looking around the league, I mean, I don't know how open Ryan is to trading, but I'm gonna test those waters.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. Breaking you into the new league, bud. Be ready.
All right,
Right?
just for Diggs. Oh, you know what?
Putting
I
him
like
now.
Diggs.
Just
I,
ask for Diggs. Who are
I
you?
like
So are you
Diggs.
putting both B Rob and A Jones for Diggs?
I think that is a fantastic. Looking at his lineup, he's got Barkley. He's already got these A plus. I think Diggs is fantastic. I think Drake May is going to throw it Diggs'
I
way.
think you need to throw him, but here's the thing: you're going to need a flex. You're getting rid of Jones and Robinson, so you have Barkley and Williams. You'll have Devontae and Diggs, but maybe try to throw in something that you could also play. I mean, I guess you could play. Who's Tesla? Am I missing that? Do you know who Tesla is?
You know,
Who is Tesla? Here, Kyle. Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you get A Jones for Diggs, keep Godwin. Absolutely, bud. Is that McMillan? That's not
I want
McMillan.
to say it's McMillan, but I oh, it is Tesla.
Oh, it's Tesla. It's an actual. It's actual Tesla. Isaac Tesla. And I've actually heard good things about him.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen. I mean, he's kind of a deep pick.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I think offering him is
it's
to
not that I
someone who
want you to
wants him.
offer him. I think you just need like if you could get like Aaron Jones and Brian Robinson for right, like who else? What other receivers does this guy have outside of Diggs?
Tesla's a stash. Like if he pans out, he's great to have.
Yeah. Because even if you could grab like a, I'm trying to think. Overall, though, I do like your team. I think your flex needs work. What is it? Is it a 12 man?
Man,
Oh,
Tesla, he's 6'4" out of Arkansas. I think he's going to be
no,
all
he's
right in
going to
that
be good.
offense. Yeah.
I think he's going to have a good year. It's just going to be depending on that offense with the offensive coordinator and everything like that.
Well, hopefully he doesn't take away from Jahmyr Gibbs because I need that really badly.
I need that not to happen really bad. Not this week. He's got Kupp and Jefferson. Oh,
Cup is an unknown at this point, right? Like,
I
what
think
is he going to look like in that offense?
maybe Aaron Jones and Brian Robinson for Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs. I don't know if that's a trade that he's willing to make, but if you get both of them, injury bug for Jameson Williams. Really?
Interesting. I mean, he's inconsistent at best. I haven't heard that about Jameson yet.
I haven't heard that about Jameson Williams either. But yeah, I mean, I would say maybe try to go for. I mean, just throw it out there, see if he takes it, see if he bites. You know, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Jones, and Chris Godwin, and Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, and Brian Robinson for Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs. I think might be a good upgrade to your receivers and cover your flex.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm all about making them big trades. Go and get them. I know this year I've got some. I need Jordan Mason to do well. If I can get Austin Eckler and Chris Olave to kind of get back into form, even Amari Cooper, who knows how he looks, he could be that number one receiver over there.
Yeah, I'm really leaning on a few guys doing well on my bench. If I need to unload one of these giants, but Tank Bigsby is my guy. If Tank can and have a good role in that offense down there with Liam Cohen, I think there's some upside there with Tank, but I think he could also just sit on that bench. It'll be really interesting. And you already mentioned Bateman. If Bateman gets two touchdowns in the first week, I could trade him for something.
Hey, that's how I ended up with James Conner. Darnell Mooney had like a 2-3 tutty game. Cameron was like, "Give me Mooney." I'm like, "Give me Conner."
Well, I appreciate you, Kyle. I appreciate you talking about Tesla. He's going to be on my radar certainly going forward. It'll be interesting with a lot of questions with the Lions. One of my friends is a Lions fan. He says this is a wait and see year. So we will wait and see how they do this year. Are you a Lions fan, Kyle? I mean, it feels like a wait and see year for the Cowboys too, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll find out.
It's hopefully a wait and get first pick.
That's hilarious. Jerry Jones says he's going to use those picks sooner than later. Get a big name.
Going to trade for somebody.
It'd be hilarious if you got like one of the Bosa, like Bosa or
Nick Bosa comes over there.
TJ Watt. It just replaces Micah Parsons. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Micah. Well, we got fucking Miles.
Yeah,
he's cheaper than you because he signed earlier. And guess what? He doesn't have an L3, L4 joint problem going on right now.
You're making too much of that. Okay. You're making too much of this. This is a lover
epidural injection every time he gets on the field.
He makes it on the field, right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Listen, the Packers have never done this. They've done two things this year they've never done. They've never gone after a big guy like this, and as long as I've been a fan, and they've never drafted a first pick as a wide receiver in a long time. Like, what is with this year in the Green Bay Packers?
They're trying, man. They're trying this year. They're like, listen, we get just this far. Maybe if we change tactics just a little bit, we can take that extra hump.
I feel like the window is open. Micah, even at 80%, he's better than what we've had in a long time.
Well, you guys haven't had an over 10 sack guy, and I saw something like years, like lots of years.
I don't even remember the last guy that got that many sacks. I don't know. I don't think Clay Matthews had maybe 1 year.
Well, let's take a look. Who was the last Packer to get over 10 sacks in a season? The last guy would have been, last Packer got over 10 sacks in a season was Kabir Gabaja Biamila.
First of all, racist.
That was in 2006. 06.
Yeah, that's the year I got married, 2008.
I wasn't even graduated high school. I graduated in 08. I was 16 years old. I'm 35, just to put that into perspective.
Well, dude hasn't get fewer than 12 in a year when he's been healthy. So let's keep him healthy.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's been it for JD Fantasy Football. I appreciate you guys hopping on tonight, giving us questions. We went through some stats and check us through the rest of the year. We're just going to get better and better. We'll talk to you later.